What is going on with The Promised Neverland? Why is it going anime original? Since The Promised Neverland Season 2 started, it's been skipping content, first chapters, and now outright skipping arcs. If you're a hardcore fan, you should be pissed. So let's find out, why did The Promised Neverland anime make so many drastic changes? Smash that like and subscribe. Let's go over the recent episode changes, plus some juicy stuff I found on the Japanese side of things. Kicking this off with episode 1, you had the giant CG monster chasing the kids from the get-go. The change up here, the little kids could outrun the monster no problem. You even had Emma running while carrying a kid. She must be an Ackerman. For some removed chapters, the whole manga scene of them falling down underground got axed. This involved discovering some carnivorous plants. I guess screw world building? Part of this was meant to show how resourceful Emma and the group were from reading and learning about the outside world from the books. In reality, for the first episode, it was mostly the same. The anime did add some things that you could argue could make up for the various cuts, although it did speed through the most amount of chapters. Unfortunately, not the worst offender. Episode 2, you'll instantly notice Emma's faces or expressions getting super toned down for the anime, especially her feeling fear and anger. To be fair, I do think this is similar to what Season 1 did. For the part about the demon giving the history lesson, it was all talk in the anime. The manga actually showed you the various demons and humans fighting throughout history. This included a certain owl figure responsible for the current state of the world. Throughout this episode, and a lot of the others, you had Emma and Rei's inner thoughts removed. For this episode and the ones that followed, you did have the anime removing Mujika and the demons speaking in their own language. This is a recurring thing, so I guess the anime just didn't want to bother. Episode 3, the anime actually skipped over the eerie imagery of the mass-produced kids used as livestock. Don't show the kiddies this. For an actual major change in the anime so far, the anime did give you Emma receiving this amulet. But in the anime, there's no longer any mention of the 7 walls. This is a major plot detail. You're gonna see as we go along, and this keeps on coming up. For Mujika's buddy, his reason for actually helping the kids got bridged. Anyway, getting into the actual major change that everyone realized. The guy Yugo got completely removed in the anime, which means the anime officially diverted as soon as Emma and the guys got to this hideout. Yugo was supposed to be this last survivor of this previous group. He escaped from his farm 13 years ago. Perhaps in the anime timeline, Yugo either died or tried to flee to the special human zone. It really sucks, the guy is no longer around to give Emma a warm welcome. No fun for Emma now, especially Emma smashing some family jewels. And just to confirm with you, I was in disbelief. I thought perhaps this could be a different hideout. Perhaps a kid stopping at this place, then moving to a different one. However, at the end of episode 3, you got this special room, which pretty much confirms it being the same hideout. It did get changed up a bit for the anime. You got help instead of poachers tagged on the wall. No more mention of poachers since you'll see something else got caught. Thankfully, episode 4 does give you a close-up of the names. The upper 4 names are now absent or cut off for the anime. Looking at the secret room the kids stumbled upon from playing the piano. In the manga, there also was a secret area, except it was this armory super jam-packed with weapons. For the anime, that's completely absent now. For the spot where you would have found Yugo, instead the anime gives you this empty room with a bunch of monitors. I don't know if the anime made this as a sick joke, but they actually left the same teacup and the expired cookies on the table. It matches the manga except for someone obviously missing. Instead, for the anime, Emma and the friends are now greeted with a single letter. I will point out how this letter did exist in the manga, except they randomly found it in one of the ancient books. You won't be surprised that the anime cut out some of the letter. It read, "Should you want to go beyond merely living in peace, then use your pen and head here." A new location was given. Next up, episode 4. Continuing from the previous episode, you actually had the call from William. Emma originally didn't get the phone call from William until much later, chapter 72. That wouldn't be until 4 to 5 episodes later if the anime was following the manga. Besides the anime giving you this early, you got a good chunk of the phone call removed. William is actually James. He revealed himself to be the 35th head of the family who made the promise 1,000 years ago. It was his duty to act as his representative between a human and demon world. James revealed he actually had constructed this path located in Goldie Pond to the human world. But at the time that Emma received the phone call, the path had already been sealed off. Thankfully, all hope was not lost. James revealed other locations to a path to the human world. One of them included the Gracefield house. James went on to encourage them to search for the 7 walls previously mentioned by Mujika. I'm gonna get to the 7 walls and the Goldie Pond in a little bit. Anyway, getting to the hideout getting raided. Get this wouldn't happen until 3 arcs later. Hell, the anime kicked them out of their home before the time skip. What a shame, because the manga gave the group a huge loss here. It was devastating. You had kids getting killed off left and right in their escape. As for a better surprise, we actually have Isabella getting reintroduced here. Let me just mention, I don't mind this change up. The anime brought her back a lot sooner. Compare this to the manga where Isabella didn't come back until the second final arc. It was practically the finale. Naturally, the whole deal with her is anime original. You got her being allowed to go after the kids in exchange for her freedom. I would just say in the manga, this deal and this whole conversation never happened. Without getting into the spoiler details, if anything, it's the complete opposite. Which is why I'm awfully curious to see how this mess turns out. Who knows, the anime may kick ass with this changeup. Episode 5. So this jumps all the way to chapter 102. They did it. Season 2 officially skipped 3 arcs this episode. None of them were filler arcs, by the way. That's an anime time skip for your ass. Most of this episode was anime original, especially anything involving those 2 demons chasing them. I guess the anime just added this chase scene to take up some time. As a slight positive, I do like that the anime tried to make you sympathetic for them. For the actual Demon Temple hideout, this is another mind-boggling thing. Originally, Emma and the group were searching for this temple for a way to get closer to the 7 walls. The temple gave them this clue about day and night. Now compare this to the anime, where it seems like they're just randomly staying there as their current hideout. Let me also point out that Emma got to this demon temple before they got raided at their hideout. So they're really just jumbling everything together. Along with Isabella appearing, here's Norman. This is probably the final straw. In the manga, you wouldn't find out he's still alive until chapter 74. Episode-wise, that wouldn't be until 5 episodes later. But notice, Norman didn't meet up with Emma until chapter 118, which would have been about 2/3 into the series. For the anime, that wouldn't be until seasons later. So how astonishing was this one anime episode? Episode 5 just skipped about 4 arcs worth of content. I now know the pain for Tokyo Ghoul manga fans. For the actual Goldie Pond arc skipped, which is a fan favorite, it involved Emma and Ray going into poacher territory. They actually learned to use those weapons they had. On top of this, both of them went through the trouble of learning to survive in the outdoors, killing these monsters. Ray and Emma looked like they were about to die by the end of it. Part of this involved Emma finding this human hunting ground. They were hunting these kids as a sport in this playground. If you ever seen the anime or series, it had a Gantz feel to it. For poor Emma, it actually gave her a taste of seeing kids dying firsthand. My god, the anger she felt. Compare this to the anime, who needs character development? Post this Goldie Pond incident, Emma was determined as hell to find the 7 Wall place and forge a new promise. You already saw how the anime didn't even mention any of that. Either it got retconned, or the anime will heavily simplify it. I will ask you to notice the opening. It actually included Ray and Emma getting those updated jackets, one that they get for this skipped arc. They even left a vacant spot for the missing Yugo. Come on, this is a cruel timeline. So let's get into it. Why the change up? Why is The Promised Neverland Season 2 going anime original? It's no surprise you got a Tokyo Ghoul Turn A comparison. I did research to see if there was any official reason for the anime changes. Was there anything from the Promised Neverland author? Any tweet or blog post? Anything from the anime studio? Part of this research even pushed back this video for me. Surprisingly, almost nothing from either the author or the anime studio. Except this little gem from the Japanese side of things. Detailed in this Japanese news article, turns out they did actually announce some anime change-ups at the Jump Festival in 2020. What those changes would be for the anime were not outlined. So turns out they did warn you, it just went under the radar. My Japanese research buddy did find this tweet from an animator. According to them, it's not the studio's fault for the changes. They're claiming that it's the Promised Neverland author who made the call. If you got any complaints about what's going on in the anime, totally understandable, but please complain to the author instead of the studio. So things are getting interesting. Couple things to keep in mind. This animator went ahead and deleted those tweets. I think it just got too much attention. We were able to confirm this is an animator, but unfortunately we can't confirm that they're actually working on this Promised Neverland anime. For some fun stuff, some actual Japanese fan reaction to what's going on. You won't be surprised that they're not too happy either. The Promised Neverland has trended on Japanese Twitter, but it's mostly people being pissed off at the state of the anime, especially after episode 5. So now my thoughts, speculation. The Promised Neverland manga is over. It ended last year. Perhaps the production committee didn't see any benefit monetarily in doing a full anime adaptation. Not when the final arcs would be animation heavy for battles. It's practically non-stop action. Or worse, they could have just turned this into a CG festival if they were trying to do it cheap. Even the skipped Goldie Pond arc would have required a lot of resources since it is battle heavy. In case you are new to the world of anime production, anime is made with the intention to promote manga sales and hopefully sell a crap ton of merch. It is common to see manga sales double or even multiply more with the anime starting. Even a simple anime announcement gives the manga a huge sales boost. Unfortunately, with the Promised Neverland manga being over, you're really left with two choices. Either no more season 2, no more anime, or do this what if story and end the anime much sooner. Hardcore fans may not like the anime going anime original, but at the same time the fan backlash would give the anime more attention. Especially pissed off fans comparing and complaining about the differences. Like this video. Putting it bluntly, it is a crappy way to treat the fans. If you're anime only, just know that a lot of fans do consider the series peaking in the Goldie Pond arc, which makes it even more unfortunate it being skipped over. A lot of fans were not happy with how the series ended, but those issues started long before the final arc. Perhaps this could be playing with the key into the story changes going forward. You might be wondering, how about the author involvement? Did they really decide this? Why are they letting this happen? For an anime project, technically the original author is always involved in some way. To what extent really varies from one anime project to another. For example, the Attack on Titan creator Isayama has been super involved in the anime. He's been there in person to oversee the voice actor performances. He's worked with the studios to make any anime updates and so on. On the flip side, you have cases where the author isn't involved. Maybe they don't care, maybe they're just too busy with their own weekly series. Practically all of these authors are working non-stop to get their manga series out weekly. There's cases of authors offloading the anime responsibilities to an assistant. Let them sign off. In other words, being completely hands-off. Let me stress, for the Promised Neverland anime, the extent that the author is involved is unknown. Although I'm predicting that eventually some news of this tragedy will ooze out. One thing is certain, expect anything coming out of the Promised Neverland author to be positive about the anime. Don't expect them to badmouth the anime or studio. Unless they're stupid or they slip up, you're not gonna see them burning any bridges. Even if they don't like what's going on, it really is just business not to talk crap. Not to mention, it wouldn't be very Japanese of them to voice any concerns loudly. If anything does pop out from the author, expect it to be while the anime isn't airing. But is it really all bad? Is there anything positive I could say about the anime? As a manga reader, I do notice I'm putting more emphasis on other characters. In the manga, anyone that isn't from the main group, anyone that isn't Emma, is pretty much forgettable. At least from the first episodes, you do have the anime focusing on the other kids helping out, instead of it mostly being the Emma show. That said, it does feel that whatever positive there was, just got wrecked with the latest episode 5. Let me give you my prediction for this messy anime. The anime did show Emma this new map when they entered the word future into the hologram pen. I'm predicting the anime will still lead the group over to the special location, except this time without putting any blood, sweat, or tears. What a shame, the 7 walls won't feel the same if it's just handed over. Watch them randomly stumble upon it. Given how Norman is already introduced, I'm calling it now. The anime is gonna rush it. They're gonna try to wrap up everything in this super messy fashion in season 2. For hardcore fans, it really is a shame since the anime feels like a discount imitation. This watered down anime version is simply a what if. Why do I have a sneaking suspicion that they're gonna make a live action sequel and adapt this story? If you did like the Promised Neverland season 1 anime, I highly suggest reading the manga. The anime does adapt the first 37 chapters pretty well. I would start from chapter 38. Go ahead, read the manga, catch up, then cry or laugh with us watching the anime. And I thought X-Arm was a train wreck this season. The Promised Neverland Season 2, we're not letting you fly under the radar. So definitely let me know, what do you think about this whole Promised Neverland mess? Are you pissed off with it going anime original? Anyone still watching, or have you given up? And if you are enjoying it, what are the positive changes? Unfortunately, it feels like this has gone into car crash territory. So definitely let me know down below. If you enjoyed this, smash a like and subscribe for more weekly videos. I'll keep tabs on this to see how it develops. Check out my must-watch anime for winter season and my spicy redo of Healer video, and I'll see you guys later.